Yeah. Open it up. Open up the economy. Yo. Like and share if you care. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Yes, yes.
So much easier for our country if we had a press that told the truth.
It's the Earth is flat, whether it's we didn't land on the moon, whether it's we didn't land on the moon. It's the Earth is flat.
Looks incredibly flat.
To make sense to you.
That's rational.
And I've tweeted that before.
Not no money marketing scheme, nigga.
Hi, this is Don Knotts, and this is what President Johnson calls the most important investment we can make, a United States savings bond. Now, bonds help our men in Vietnam, and they help your future, too. So how about it? Buy United States savings bonds regularly, where you work or bank. Thank you.
Think the world was flat?
Huh?
Think the world was flat.
Huh? Huh?
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
Huh?
I like turtles.
That stuff is flat.
For our guest performer, and today's guest is someone I know you're all going to enjoy.
The characteristic of any time. Well, thank you very much, Admiral Byrd.
each additional $1 billion in manufactured goods and trade, a new breed of isolationists seem to think domestic policy ends at the water's edge. Back in 1492, imagine the hard time they've given Christopher Columbus. Voices on the right and left are working right now to breathe life into those old flat earth theories of protectionism, of isolationism, that there is no going back. Our new world is far smaller, communications far more instant, our horizons stretch much farther with each generation. This is 1991, not 1791. Horse and buggy attitude won't carry us into the next century. And we will knock down barriers wherever we find them, to open markets, for instance, for our computer software, movies, books, and pharmaceuticals. We will fight hard against protectionism, both at home and abroad. And 5 centuries ago, a man of courage and vision set sail from Europe, searching for new trade routes and opportunities. And he defied the timid counsel of those who said the earth was flat. Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas transformed human history. Columbus was an entrepreneur, and the risk he took 500 years ago continues to pay off abundantly today. And today we still have to combat the flat earth mentality, the mindset that urges us to barricade our borders against competition, to shut off the free exchange of food and machinery and skills and ideas.
I want to be clear. I am willing to work with anybody. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, Greens, anybody to combat this threat on behalf of our kids. I'm open to all sorts of new ideas, maybe better ideas, to make sure that we deal with climate change in a way that promotes jobs and growth. Nobody has a monopoly on what is a very hard problem, but I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on it's round.
We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that.
What is fundamentally a flat earth caucus?
I mean, there's still some folks out there arguing flat earth, policy.
Only Vice President Cheney still insists that the earth is flat.
We are not a secret society. We've got a big headquarters in Covent Garden. It's open to the public pretty much every day of the year. There's a library, there's a museum, we do public tours. Talk to any of my members, they'll be very happy to tell you what it is that we do. The things that are supposedly kept secret, the ceremonies, well, they're morality plays. They teach us to think about ourselves, about our place in society, about people less fortunate than ourselves and how we might be able to help them. And if you want to see what they are, they're all on Google. Take you 10 seconds to find them.
Why, what do you mean, sir?
As equals.
So here is, in 3 dimensions, what the resulting model is like. Now let's see what the graduate students have to say about their interpretation of this funny-looking message.
And although we know that you have a sense of humor, Mickey Mouse was not our idea of a joke, so it had to be something else.
The only thing it really looked like was a molecular orbital type drawing of a molecule. And the first one that came to my mind was formaldehyde.
And Kathy is in fact right. This was intended to be a formaldehyde molecule, although it does look a little bit like Mickey Mouse, in which there's a carbon atom, 2 hydrogens, and an oxygen. Now, what could the significance of that be? Why go to all this trouble to simply say formaldehyde? And the answer is that formaldehyde has a radio frequency attached to it. And what all of this trouble is about is the message is saying, don't listen on this station. This isn't the station that's interesting. Listen on the formaldehyde station, and that's where the Encyclopedia Galactica will be. Notice that if we made a serious such search and succeeded, the results would be inestimable. We will have ended the isolation of mankind from the rest of the universe forever.
An assistant United States attorney said, "What's wrong with this stuff?"
Yeah. Right over there. See those twin towers? That's Lincoln and his wife. Oh, that's the Golden Gate Bridge. You can't see it because of the fog. It's beautiful.
star. Those medals are now in Russia, readying to blast off Wednesday to the International Space Station.
This is the greatest thing ever happened to me. Why did it happen to me?
Ralph's great-nephew, Reed Wiseman, is a NASA astronaut who asked if he could take the World War II's heroes' medals to space. Reed was always close to Ralph, even called him Uncle Daddy.
He is like, that was me. That's why.
That was a big deal. Until his great-nephew, the astronaut, asked to take his medals aboard the space station.
I think it's the most wonderful thing ever happened to me.
And bring back a picture of them from the cupola, with the Earth in the background. And by the way, the medals are not a gift.
Oh no, they're coming back. They're coming back, and they're going right back in that cabinet.
And of course, Ralph is delighted with his medals.
I like turtles.
Hello, I'm Buzz Aldrin.
Disappointing specimen.
Welcome.
Take a picture of me standing on the moon. Oh, that ain't really the moon. We don't have to tell anybody.
On a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people.
How absolutely fascinating.
We just have to be repetitive about this.
I walked on the moon. I walked on the moon.
We just have to be repetitive about this.
I walked on the moon. I walked on the moon.
You don't really think you're going to get away with this?
Well, I don't know. It's a chance. Maybe it's not a very good one, but it's a chance.
I'll be one of the new Australians.
At the water's edge back in 1492. Those old flat earth theories of protectionism, of isolationism, that there is no going back. The earth was flat. Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas transformed human history.
I want to be clear, I am willing to work with anybody. Meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Round, and someone else says it's flat. That's worth reporting. It's round.
We're trying to move toward the future. They want to. They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that.
What is fundamentally a flat earth caucus?
There's still some folks out there arguing flat earth, policy.
Only Vice President Cheney still insists that the earth is flat.
United States and in the state of California, we have an initiative on the ballot, which I strongly support, that creates a fund for investment in stem cell research. Hopefully other states will do that. Hopefully a new president of the United States and a new Congress will depart from the Flat Earth Society attitudes on science of the Bush administration. That isn't that I'm not respectful of the views of some on this subject. It's a new idea to some, and we have to make the case so that's my view on it. And that's, I think, speaks for a large number of the Democrats.
We are going to have a good time tonight.
Research Revolution, I'm out of here.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
It stays the same dimension. In other words, for a few seconds at least, and more seconds than that, there's no resilience in this particular material when it's at a temperature of 32 degrees. I believe that has some significance.
You know it well. How would you describe it?
Well,
what's happening on a Saturday night?
So people don't know the distinction. However, what happened here to me is mind-boggling. View, if you want it to be, prisoners are strange. He's a possible rat also. Truth or the falsity he was looking at. So
gauge your mental state.
I do not understand.
Charged with doing. Is that true?
That is true.
Doing.
Yes. Doing. I have to step back and say I don't know what to believe.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago...
Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, big-headed politics.
For our guest performer, and today's guest is someone I know you're all going to enjoy. Here he is in person.
Well,
Young
the
man.
verse says first again. Right, welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming into the premiere.
You go and do you couldn't possibly do and totally redeem yourself.
Okay, but here. Erotic psychedelic. Anger. Okay, but here.
Rock musicians get their music while on drugs or from spirit guides, which are demons.
Sometimes I wonder why they could be so dumb that they're doing exactly what is going to lead to their destruction.
Erotic psychedelic.
Anybody that's come on television must be an initiated witch. You can just check them off.
Which is a far cry from the $666.66 it sold for back in 1976.
It's the next generation, bro.
Okay, but here.
You know, this is all nonsense, and I feel like, you know, knocking on their heads and asking if there's anybody home up there. It's done in secret.
It's the next generation, bro. Erotic psychedelic.
What about being a witch drew you so much to the religion? I liked the empowerment.
next generation, bro.
Could it be Satan?
Okay, but here.
This couldn't be a terrible dream, a nightmare that you're reliving.
No. It's no dream. It's a nightmare, but it's not one you can wake up from.
We're the next generation.
But you know how to become a political champion in the text.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood.
Well, here's the problem.
I like turtles.
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
I don't wear your clothes. I'm no human. I hurt you slow. By what authority would you say that about me? I'm no human. I don't wear your clothes.
It's time for the Longines Chronoscope.
The North Pole used to be a no man's land, but these are the days when, by buying a ticket on a commercial airline, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and
Texan sky, and I want to.
Have you ever heard of the flat earth theory?
Oh yeah, everybody up in here, good stuff. Damn, man, I wish I had some better technology right now, but my streaming services are not really popping off too great. But yeah, we're gonna start it up. And I didn't realize might not be spinning.
Comprehension. America must be filled with morons.
Hello, I'm Buzz Aldrin.
By comprehension, America must be filled with morons who... By comprehension, America must be filled with morons who...
But when you watch stuff like this, you miss it a little bit.
Oh yeah, I miss it a lot.
Comprehension, America must be filled with morons who...
Well, they were promised. It's like getting a ticket for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you get there and there's no chocolate. Can you imagine that? And that's exactly what's happened in the Globe theme park, where they were supposed to be giving out, you know, lots of Globe prizes, lots of rockets, miniature rockets, and miniature globes and models. But turns out it's a graveyard. There's just nothing happening in... Now you come to Flatland, Flat World. Now you can just imagine the colours, the excitement. I mean, just listening to me, you know, you can imagine the excitement, like, woohoo! You know, really strong. And so, people are gathering, as you can see, in their millions. They all want to see what's going on. You know, and, yeah, there's many different, like, you could say rides, if you want, put it that way. Like, each flat earth has a different perspective, a different thrill. So, yeah, I mean, it's difficult, guys. I've been saying for the longest time. Now, people would say, why do you talk to those globe earthers? What is the point? You're never going to change their mind. You're never going to change their minds, right? Oh, I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot. Just on the circuit. You're never going to change their mind. Why do you even bother? I'm like, well, you know... And a lot of time with these guys working very closely. I have to go to the whole therapy thing, you know, working very closely with these guys who are suffering from not being able to produce evidence for the globe they live on. Alright?
This goes on too long.
It has to be.
And that's how it's going to be.
Knowledge can be very badly hurt, injured, or die from
cosmic truths
from
has
this.
arrived at. And in there is their enthusiasm, their excitement. You end up liking their subject even if you didn't care about their subject because they brought enthusiasm to it. Curmudgeon or anything, or just tall. I got one, you ready? Now, you know, what? We're a family. Knowledge that searchers of cosmic truths have arrived at. And in there is their enthusiasm, their excitement, or just tall. I got one, you ready? Now, you know, I don't curmudgeon or anything. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. So we could draw it that far back and say we are family.
We're exposing the corruption of the Washington Democrats, and we're draining the Washington swamp. I just didn't know how dirty it would be. I didn't know how deep it would be. When I said drain the swamp, for a long time, you know, I was given that expression. The speechwriter gave it to me, said drain the swamp. I said, that's so hokey. I said, that's the worst. I don't want to use it. Anyway, it ends up in one of the speeches. I said, we will drain the swamp. Right? The place went crazy. I said, let's try it again. And we did it again, and the place went crazy. Now, here's the bad part. I never knew the swamp was so bad. It's really bad. But we're winning, and we're winning Not easy, but we'll win it. A lot of dirty people. A lot of very bad people. A lot of bad people, and I think justice will be had. I do believe that, or I wouldn't be very happy right now. You remember recently when I took the soldiers out of Syria?
And control plan.
I see skies of white cross patterns too. I see them true for me and you, and think to myself, the sky used to be a baby blue. I see trees of green, shrubs with severed trunks reduced to stumps, and think to myself, they are terraforming this world. I see doctors lie prescribing pills that treat and never cure, and think to myself, trust no one in this world. I see man-made storms flooding the poor in a swirl, and think to myself, they are geoengineering this world. I see globe Earth lies, fake space station is no surprise, and think to myself, we're living in a faked out world. I hear the babies cry, watch them grow the shots, keep them low, and think to myself, we're living in a whacked out world. Think to myself, we're living in a whacked out world.
Mugging or anything, or just talk. I got one. You ready? Now, you know, I don't mugging or anything. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
Can't handle the truth.
Edge of space jump. But the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
I guarantee